Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're watching today. Sasha here, and we are in day 18 of the month of matcha. With that being said, it's Monday. I want to do another matcha-based dessert or, food item for cooking for a change and Monday night delight. So folks, what am I making, you may ask? Well, I got my wet and my dry ingredients set out, and I'll explain. But today I'm going to be making matcha funnel cake fries. That's right, folks. God willing, I'm going to have this as a staple dessert. I really don't partake in dessert, but, with this month and my, creativity, I'm going to try to incorporate matcha into some dessert so I can have my cake and eat it too. Or in this case, funnel cake and eat it too. So, I am basing this recipe off of Divas Can Cook Easy Funnel Cakes. So I will link her blog, and she also has a YouTube channel. So I will definitely link her blog, which I got this from. All I did was I added one perfect David's Tea perfect spoon, which you can approximate it as 1 tablespoon of David's Tea's matcha matsu. You can use any, matcha that you have on hand. I would even suggest maybe experimenting with the sweeter matcha drink samples. Like, vanilla matcha, maple matcha, whatever, sweet or type of matcha that you find will lend itself to this dessert. So, folks, this isn't everything, but this is majority of what you'll need. You need brown sugar. This is light brown sugar. You'll need AP flour. Divas recipe calls for whole milk, but I do not have that, so I'm using my lactose-free 2% milk. You're going to need your matcha. Like I said before, if you're doing my recipe, baking powder. Now, you need a frying, vehicle. So I was going to use vegetable oil, but I didn't have enough of it for frying. So I'm just going to use this vegetable shortening because I bought it and it's been sitting in the pantry. So this would definitely be an ideal time. 1 pound to make 2 and like 1/5 of a cup of frying oil or frying, medium. So if you're using oil, you need 2 cups. But I have vegetable shortening. A pound of vegetable shortening is approximately 2 cups and some spillage. So if you just want to do the recipe and you don't really like using shortening and you don't have oil on hand or whatever, you want to try shortening, just get the small tin, the 1 pound tin. And also, an egg is required, a large egg. I've already beaten it into my wet mixture, so I don't have my hand because the eggs are in the fridge where they should be. And folks, I am already in step 3. So basically, step 1 is to measure and mix all your ingredients. So it was a cup of flour, let me get this recipe right, y'all. But, I'm going to post it. 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's your dry ingredients. So I sifted them, and then I added the 1 perfect spoon or 1 tablespoon of matcha powder, added them, sifted them, measured them, or I'm saying it wrong, measured them, sifted them, mixed them all together. So that's this. And then you seeing what those like dark flecks are? My dumb behind forgot. Oh, and also, yeah, my dumb behind forgot this too. You need white sugar as well. Her recipe calls for white sugar. So my dumb behind mixed the brown sugar in the dry ingredients, and I was like, oh crap, I think I messed up. These are gonna get incorporated, but the brown sugar is supposed to go in the wet batch versus the dry. So that's my flub. So if this comes out weird, then I know this was a big part to it. I got, you know, hasty thinking I knew the recipe by heart. I didn't. So that was my flub. I'm probably just going to whisk it a whole lot longer to make sure everything gets incorporated into that nice smooth batter. So that was pretty much like step one, mixing and measuring, or measuring and mixing the dry ingredients. I sifted them together to make sure that the particles would be uniform, and set that aside. Next step, you take 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 2 tablespoons white sugar, 1 egg, and 3/4 cup of milk. Combine them, measure them, combine them, whisk them together, and then that's to the side. Oh, you know what, y'all? Her recipe doesn't really call for vanilla extract. So, hey, that's great. I don't have to use this imitation crap. So, sorry, y'all. Forget I said anything about the vanilla extract. Her recipe doesn't call for it. So, keeping it pushing. Now I'm at step 3, and you know, if I had 3 arms, I would definitely hold it, but I'm gonna need to revert to the tripod, and go ahead and mix these ingredients. So I'm gonna add half of my flour, or half of the dry ingredients, to the wet, mix them, then add the other half, mix them to ensure a smooth batter consistency. So don't go anywhere, y'all. I'm going to set y'all up to watch me whisk. Alrighty, y'all. So here we go. Going to add in half of this flour mixture to the wet mixture. And y'all, there is like flour everywhere. I mean, it ain't really cooking unless you making a mess everywhere. That's what I always say. So here we go, mixing it in. I want that nice batter. The green is coming out really good though, y'all. And speaking of green, I know I'm not in my green attire. If you know, caught me, or you're catching me right now with my shirt, don't worry, I will slip into the green attire. But I want to just make sure that this is fairly heavily incorporated, because I might have to get a smaller whisk because of the brown sugar in the dry ingredients mistakenly. There we go, it's getting thick. Like, am I making a mess? Got some spillage. If I find that it's too thick, I'm just gonna add splashes of water, y'all. Because it's supposed to be like a ribbon-like consistency, and it's kind of thick. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, bit by bit, add some milk to help thin it out. It's like making pancake mix, y'all. It's like making pancake mix, you know. If you find that the batter is too thick to ladle out or whatever, just keep adding a liquid to thin it out. You want to get a nice, smooth, ribbon-like consistency. See, it's still kind of too thick. So, in more milk. And if it's too thin, then we just sprinkle some flour in there. But this should be able to, whatchamacallit, you should be able to transport this liquid, this batter, no problem. See, now it's looking good. You gotta give yourself a little bit of a workout too. I gotta smell it, y'all. Woo, so matcha and rich. That's what I'm talking about. This flimsy whisk. Okay, there we go. I had to add a bit more splashes of milk to it. But then I'll bring y'all in and do the ribbon test. But because I'm kind of anal about missing the sides. Let me make sure it's all incorporated. No dry patches. No dry patches. Yeah, the batter is like obscuring your view. I can tell. So here we go. Okay, so you basically want this consistency. And I apologize for if my shadow's like in the way. But when you raise your whisk up or mixing apparatus up, it should be ribbon, like threading off like a ribbon. So folks, have a little special guest. You're gonna see him in a little bit. Alright, so that's enough mixing. Sorry. Looks pretty good to me. So, special guest coming in. And you probably wondering where he's been all this time. But no worries, folks. He's here to make a cameo appearance to help out with my recipe. Hey y'all, it's Mr. Days Honey Bear. I know, it's been a while since y'all seen him, right? So, when I finished the 31 Days of David's Tea, I didn't want to throw him away. I told my mom, hold on, let's keep him, because I did want to do matcha, or I did want to do funnel cake fries, but I wasn't too sure if, you know, I was going to do them anytime soon until now. So, folks, pro tip, you don't really need a funnel for funnel cakes. Shock horror, I know. You can use, I've heard people use empty ketchup bottles. I'd rather use something that's been sweet. And, you know, same thing could be emptied out. You could use a squeeze bottle from like a restaurant depot area, like a condiment squeeze bottle, whatever you fancy, y'all. But you don't have to get a funnel for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my, hopefully I do it right. Okay, it's always that initial pour, y'all. So yeah, you don't have to do like a funnel for a funnel cake unless you want to be cute for namesake. So this batter is supposed to make 2 funnel cakes, like, you know, regular size funnel cakes, which is fine. That's perfect. A lot of the other recipes that I saw, y'all, they call for like 8, 9, and I didn't want to have like that many. Like, that's excessive. So let me just get a spoon and scoop the rest of this. Like, yeah, that's kind of excessive for me. Uh-oh. That's why I chose Divas Can Cook's recipe, because it's like, oh, perfect for, you know, me alone or me and a guest. In this case, my mother, if she wants to try this. I wouldn't blame her if she didn't. Y'all, you know, she tried my Rice Krispies and she talking about some, oh, my stomach hurt. I'm like, whatever. That might be the fat burning of green tea. Although, my stomach did hurt a little bit too, so maybe it was the green tea burning fat, but for the most part, like, I enjoyed the dessert. I would usually have those Rice Krispie treats like with, like in the morning with some faux juice or whatever. There we go. Come on now. I need as much of the batter as possible. Uh-oh. Making a mess. Like I said, it ain't no real cooking unless there's a mess going on. So I think that's as good as it's going to get, folks. Just going to get this last spoonful. And then get to washing these dishes. So, folks, when we cut back, I will be frying the funnel cake fries. So, don't go anywhere. The fun is just beginning. Alright, y'all, so here we are about to fry up these bad boys. I have the batter sitting in the fridge, you know, just to cool down for a little bit. But this is the Crisco, and for those of you curious, this is how it looks like. They have all vegetable shortening, butter flavored shortening, and Divas, she recommends that you use butter flavored shortening. I say I don't really care. I haven't had the, you know, pleasure of having a state fair / carnival / whatever funnel cake, so they pretty much all taste the same. I mean, I don't really crave one going to the fair, but with Crisco, y'all, or shortening, because they are store brand shortenings, you want to, you know, I'm going to scoop this out to my cast iron skillet. Use whatever skillet or Dutch oven, whatever you want to use to fry. But the thing with shortening is you want to heat it over medium heat at highest. So, you know, you scoop it out. That's what I'm about to do. Scoop it out. Put it in the cast iron. Let it heat. It's going to liquefy, you know, similar to butter. And once it's ready, once it's at temperature for frying, which is 350. So I have a candy thermometer, you know, or deep fryer thermometer, same thing. Candy / deep frying thermometer in my drawer. Just got to pull it out, make sure that the shortening is up to temp before I make the batter touch it. So I will bring you back in once the oil is to temperature. So I figured to catch the last bit of shortening that's melting. So, like I said, I had it on 4, looks more like 4. And it didn't take that long for this to melt. Now, I say 350. I think 350 is fine, but Divas says between 365 and 375 or 370. Yeah, 370. You don't want the oil or shortening too hot, and you don't want it too cold, because trust me, y'all, I fried many a thing, and I didn't get it right the first time because I didn't let the oil get hot enough. So, well, shortening or oil, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. But now that it's melted, I want to wait a few more minutes and let this get up to temp. Once it's up to temp, then we're going to do some frying, y'all. So, don't go anywhere. Please stick around. All right, folks. So, it is the moment of truth. We are going to test the oil or not oil, goodness, the shortening, and see if it is up to par. If it is not, we'll just come back when I've made the necessary adjustments, but I'm just going to use like a drop of the batter. Another thing, y'all, this is kind of small for, funnel cake. If push comes to shove and the fries kind of look really pale, what I'll end up doing is sawing off the protrusion, and hopefully that'll get the correct size hole. But some recipes are very finicky with, let me test while I'm talking. Oh, there we go. It's not automatically burrowing, so I think we can work with this. Because, y'all, another thing, I don't know where my mother put my candy thermometer at, but this is another way to, do your matcha or your funnel cake fries, whatever you frying, whatever sweets you're frying. You just drop a little bit in the oil or shortening. If it bubbles up, it's ready to go. If it browns like immediately, the oil's too hot. If it doesn't bubble enough, the oil is too low, and you're gonna have really soggy, nasty funnel cake fries, funnel cake, whatever you're frying. So, folks, this oil is looking, or I keep saying oil, this shortening is looking good. I'm gonna go ahead, set y'all down so I can get my fishing, my tool to scoop stuff up. I'm gonna get my Asian spider wick to be able to turn and lift it out. I'm also gonna get my paper towels. So this little bit's gonna burn, that's fine. So I know I have like around a minute to fry on each side and then lift it out. And I don't know, y'all, it looks pretty good in terms of size. So I'm just gonna, just make lines up and down, up and down. I'll grab y'all really quick, show y'all what I mean, then set y'all down and take care of the rest. So we're almost at the home stretch before we can actually enjoy. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, y'all. So we got a pan full of funnel cake fries, and they looking kind of crazy looking. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, as long as they taste alright. So let me go ahead, set y'all down, and let me take care of the rest. Okay, y'all, so first batch is coming out. This would probably look better as a regular funnel cake. It amazed me that they had funnel cake fry molds, which I would have never thought to have gotten. But I don't know. I mean, hey, as long as it tastes good. So after this one fully crisps up, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get my tongs and get the next batch ready to go. I almost want to sneak a taste, y'all, but I don't want to do that to y'all. My first bite got to be on camera. Now this is why I need tongs, because this is like pulling teeth to turn this around. Alright. So fork it is. Alright. And as they fry, you know, they kind of doink sit to the bottom, but then they start to rise up. So yeah, the first batch shapes look crazy, but hey, it's all gonna taste the same. So you want to give these a shot to crisp up. I'll even show you how some of them look right now. They still get that matcha green color, but they got the crisp funnel cake still look to it. It's just I'm trying to come up with like a better fry shape. Cause I think for aesthetics, you kind of do need the fry mold. I didn't want to believe it, but if that's what it takes, y'all. But I mean, hey, I'm eating it. It ain't no big deal. Okay. Just check and make sure. Okay, it's not done yet. So defo, you can spare some, get some tongs. Give it about a minute on each side. And you got some good looking funnel cakes. Or, you know, funnel cake fries. Although mine's are all over the place. Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna dress them up when I do the tasting portion. Okay. These are coming a lot along better in terms of a fry shape. But the hole could be bigger. I just double back, you know. Double back and forth, you know, like you saw me do. Double back and forth to make a somewhat of elongated fry. So yeah, folks, I'm not gonna keep you, you know, after this batch, I'll just cut to when the whole batter has been fried, show you the end results, and we'll taste them. But yeah, still, you know, plenty of stuff in terms of learning curve that I could improve upon. I was worried about having too big of a bottle, too small of a hole. Excuse me. Too big of a bottle, too small of a hole. I might let the batter warm, or not the batter, the shortening warm up more. Might crank up the heat a little bit. Smell like pancakey little things. Cannot wait to try them. So yeah, after this batch, I'm going to crank up the heat because they're looking kind of soggy. Yeah, I'm not really big on frying, truth be told. So I don't have proper fry technique. But hey, I can always learn. I'm wondering if, though, the tablespoon of matcha or the perfect spoon of matcha is going to come through in this recipe. I hope so. The color looks nice. Yeah, maybe the hole is more for like a regular matcha funnel cake versus funnel cake fries. So while I'm fishing this out, still got the nice, it looks like fried green beans, if anything. So, yeah, y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the end result. All right, everyone. So this is the fries that are yielded with Divas recipe and my modification. I know, y'all, this is a fail, but I'm going to try to doll them up still, and we will continue with the tasting of these matcha funnel cake fries. So, see you in a little bit. All right, y'all. So, here we go. Tasting time. Although, okay. So, aesthetics wise, this is a fail. These are not funnel cake fries. These are like funnel cake bacon strips or something. The whole size does matter. So, what I could do is saw off that protrusion, like I said earlier, or get a condiment squeeze bottle and just saw off the base of the cap tip. But yeah, when I started putting those in the shortening, yeah, I was like, oh shoot, this is gonna mess up. So y'all, whole size does matter. I said it again. So that's why they came out looking like bacon strips. And then some of them came out looking like green bean fries because I let it cook a little bit longer. So, and also because I didn't have my candy thermometer, like some of them look soggy. So, hey y'all, it's a learning process. I might redeem myself come next time. But hey, let's give it a taste, shall we? Actually, let me go for a piece that doesn't have any powdered sugar on it so I can tell you how it tastes. Okay, so see here? This is a bit of the strip, the funnel cake strip. And doesn't have that much. Try to flick off that confectioner sugar. Here goes. It's lightly sweet. It's lightly sweet. I really do appreciate that for it being lightly sweet. I like barely taste any matcha though. So I could use probably 2 tablespoons or 2 perfect spoons. Because that's what I want. I wanted the matcha to come out in terms of, taste along with color. Let me try it with some of the powdered sugar on here. These bacon strip funnel cake fries, good lord. Yeah. I mean, it still tastes good, but it looks bad. Okay, that extra with the powdered sugar, these can appreciate it. Look at this big mumbo jumbo. So I have another one, and then I'll give my final verdict. Never did I think that whole size would have made a difference, but it does in terms of aesthetics. And you know what, folks? I should have did like a regular funnel cake to see, like it, you know, if the whole was truly playing a part. It's not airy. It's pretty dense. So, yeah, whole size means a lot. Like, I probably could have made funnel cake bites, and it would have been fine. So, yes, I do agree. Like, this recipe, it could look better. It could stand to look better. And that was error of my own part. Simply because I didn't have the right size hole, which should be a dime size hole. Another thing is I should have that candy thermometer to ensure that the funnel cake fries are being used, or not used, are being cooked, you know, properly. All in all, to me, it still tastes good. It could taste great, but I mean, well, no, I say okay. It tastes okay. Because I actually wanted to have fries versus a like whole funnel cake. And folks, the reason why I did this was because our local fair ended yesterday, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm in the mood for this Monday Night Delight to make a funnel cake with matcha in it. But the plan was there. It was just the execution fell flat. But we'll get them next time, boss. So let me know what you think. Like, would you like to try a matcha funnel cake? I'm pretty sure it could be properly implemented. And again, thanks to Divas Can Cook for her recipe, in which I took and adapted for the matcha. I would definitely like to double up on the matcha. You know, just to get that matcha flavoring. Because right now, these lack matcha flavor. They just got the green, the nice green color. But I wanted a little bit more in the matcha powder. I was afraid if I added too much, though, that it would taste like matcha, like unsweetened matcha cake or something. Well, not unsweetened, but like barely sweetened matcha cake. This, like, in itself, the powdered sugar comes through as the sweetening, like, overall sweetening mechanism, since it's added on the final product. But yeah, I would like to have more matcha flavoring in this cake, funnel cake, and for it to look like a fry, or even look like a funnel cake. Like, these matcha strips are like piss poor. Pardon my French. But yeah, if I could, I would try to redeem myself. Tastes good, but this could be done so much better. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Any questions, comments, suggestions, or small talk, don't be a stranger. Leave it in my comment section below. Rip me a new one because I messed up how a funnel cake's supposed to look like. And, you know, let me know how I can improve on my technique if you're experienced making funnel cakes. This was my first time trying to make funnel cake fries and funnel cake for that matter. So, you know, I can always have room to improve. And maybe next time I would like to redeem myself. But who knows? Until then, folks, that's going to be it for day 18, month of matcha. Thank you again for tuning in. You have yourselves a wonderful evening, and, you know, make it a great day today and every day. And I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Bye now. I'm still going to eat these.